Hi everybody, it's Alicia Markfort coming to you today from very cold and windy St. Paul, Minnesota. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and today I know it's been a while, but it's Coffee and Cards with Lish. I haven't done one of these since before Christmas, I think. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been just so many fun things to play with lately. I just had to do these classes to go because I just wanted to make cards. So if you are here, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a comment so that we can say hi and where you are coming from. Where are you coming from? How about where you're watching from? That would be great. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to make sure I got all my ducks in a row. So today we are making Valentine treat holders. And they're obviously very Valentine-y because they're hearts and whatever, but you could easily take some of these and make them into a birthday treat holder or just a treat holder for somebody that you love or a neighbor. Giving a treat is such a easy thing to do, and it means so much more to the recipient than you think that it would, if that makes sense. Um, Especially Valentine's Day, I think it doesn't have to be a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. There's a lot of galentines out there, and you could easily make somebody's day just by giving them a little note, like an old fashioned Valentine treat from when you were kids. Hey, Lori, good to see ya. How are you? So, yeah, that is what we are going to be doing today. So, let me switch my camera view here, and then I do want to show you a card that I made. Um, there we go. There we're combined. Here I can get my keyboard out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. Just, you always think you're ready and then you go live and, you're not ready. So, anyway, I belong to this team that I belong to. Melissa Faust is my upline, and her team is crafters. And we have a team meeting once a month, and it's, we do a little bit of business at the beginning. We usually do something fun. And this month it was a mystery card, and Melissa had basic stuff for us to cut out, and then we do a Zoom, and everybody creates this. It's like you're together. It's just so fun. And so yeah, this is the card that we made. We had no idea what we were making. She just gave the measurements. She saw this by Susan Campfield, who is a Minnesota demonstrator. And yeah, and look at that. Isn't that cute? It's this fun fold. I don't remember the name of it, but oh my gosh. Hey, Kim, how are you? Good to see you. I was just showing them the cards that we made from our meeting. And then, like I said, she gave us step by step, like, we had everything cut out that we needed, like the card base, the card stock, the DSP sizes. And then she would tell us what to cut next, what to glue next, how to put it together. And yeah, this is what we made. And this is the back. Everybody made theirs different. I chose Valentine's Day. But yeah, isn't that fun? I just thought this was so, so cute. Yes. All right. So today I could have kept on going. I love paper crafting and I love making treat stuff. So this is one of the things that we're going to be making today. This is a little Valentine's box, and it fits one of these Reese's hearts, and it fits perfectly, just right in there. And it has a little pink top on it too. So, and then yeah, so we'll make this. It's just a little box on the inside. And then there's the two hearts that are glued on, and then you can decorate it whichever way you like. Then I saw this super cute using the paper doilies. It is the candy holder holds a Ghirardelli, and they just made a little envelope out of the paper doily and then slid in the treat. I thought that was just so cute and pretty simple, I think. And then this I just loved. This is one of the gusseted bags from Stampin' Up. This is the bags, and they have little red hearts on them. It's called Heart Gusseted Treat Bags, and you get 16 of them, so that's quite a few. And then what this demonstrator did was it is a gusseted bag, but she wanted it to be flat at the bottom. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. And then she had these super cute tags, and I don't know, lately I'm all about the shakers. And I want to show you how to make this super cute shaker tag. I thought, oh my gosh, so cute. And then if we have time, this box, this reminds me, yeah, I know it looks similar to this, but I don't know if you can tell it sits up a little bit higher. Okay, and then the top lifts off and you put candy on the inside. I put some Dove hearts in there, but you could probably put one of those Reese's in there too. But this reminds me of, I don't know if it's by Whitman's or Russell Stover, but at Valentine's time, there was these little heart boxes, and they had like the Peanuts gang or Snoopy on them. I don't know if you guys know which ones I'm talking about. Um, yeah. And so I knew I had to make one of these, and it's super simple. They're just these triangle strips. So, hey, Anne, how are you? I hope that it's a little bit warmer in where you're at in North Carolina right now than it is here. So, oh, thanks, Kim. Yeah, I'm just noticing that my comments aren't working on my computer, but they seem to be working on my phone. So if I have a delay answering you guys, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not seeing them right away. So the first thing that so yeah, I just love this because, like I said, it reminds me of those little peanuts. Lori, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, that I just love those. So yeah, let's get. I want to start with pink, um, this pink box first that holds the, um, you know, that holds the Reese's in it. Oh my! Oh, and I made. You could easily take, in that gusseted bag, where you and just make one of these and put it on whatever you'd like. You could put a to from on it. I just thought these were super cute. Okay, I did have this organized before I started. Trust me, I did. And now it all fell down. And now I have to look through these to see where my stuff is for this one. It is not a lot of stuff. Okay, I have this now. Okay, Anne, I'm great, thanks. In the 50s today, but the terrible ice storm is expected by. Ugh. I take the 50s, but not that ice storm coming up. Ugh, I know we're expected below zero weather with awful wind chills this weekend, and ugh, yeah. Okay, so for this, I've pre-cut stuff. Instead of using Pretty in Pink, I am using Bubble Bath, and I'm using that super cute and fun DSP that I did not see at the beginning when the catalog came out or during pre-order. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm just pulling it out here so I can show you guys. I saw it when Melissa did a video, and I'm like, huh? How come I didn't see that? It's called Love Notes 6x6 Mix and Match Designer Series paper, and it has all of these fun designs and easy to cut apart Valentines for a quick and easy treat or a card. So I did want to use this today because on this, let's see, one of these sheets has, well, you cut apart, like they're like this. See, you just cut them apart. Well, there was one that had that straw, and I loved the saying. What's on the back? Okay, that looks the same. You're extra special. I just thought that was so, so cute. And I fussy cut the little cup out. Okay, well, you'll know what I mean when you see the DSP. But I did took, because they're a square like this, and then I took the heart die from Endless Love, and I cut it around where it says you're extra special. Love a good pun. Haha, right. Yeah, and yeah, about the ice. Ugh. And then on the back side of this, there was another, well, I used another piece of DSP. That's what it was. And then I fussy cut the cup out because the heart didn't get the whole cup. And it pops up, and we're going to put it on the front of our box. And you could easily make this like a tag on there as well. So you will need 2 hearts cut with the Made with Love die set. Then you're going to need a piece of cardstock, and this is Bubble Bath, and it is 3 by 4 3/4. Okay, and then what you do is you score on the 3-inch side, so the short side, you score at 3/4 here and 2 1/4. And then you flip it on the 4 3/4 side, and you score at 2 and 2 3/4. That's it. Simple, simple. Easy breezy, lemon squeezy. All right, so all you do for this is you're just going to follow these 2 score lines. You're going to make little tabs, and you're just going to cut up to that score line. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. Just like that. That's it. And then you're going to take your bone folder, and let's make some nice crisp score lines here. So do you guys send out any Valentine treats or Valentine cards or anything like that? I know I really love it, but that's just me. I've always been that way since I was a kid. I just love doing this kind of stuff. All right. I'll just make sure these are all good. And so basically all you're going to do is you're just going to fold this up like this and make a box. Super simple. This would be so fun to do with the kiddos, and you could have everything cut and scored, or if they could maybe cut depending on the age of the child, they could, cut it, the tabs, and then glue it together. But that's all that you need to do. Kim sends cards to her aunts and her uncles. Oh, that's nice. I bet you they just love it. Yes, I bet you they just love it. Okay, so we're going to put some glue. Lori sends around 20. That's fun. Very fun. Okay, so I put some liquid glue on the one side, and I'm just bending it over, and I'm going to hold, and because I'm using liquid glue, I'm just going to hold this for a second. Just like that. Oh, and of course the grandkids. Yeah. I bet you they love it. I think it's just so much fun. I just think it's so much fun. I've always loved Valentine's Day though. Who am I kidding? I love every kind of stuff like this where you can give stuff to other people and make them happy. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did on that side. We're going to put some liquid glue right there, and we're going to hold that down. And we're just going to hold it just like so. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you are going to take your 2 die cut hearts and you are going to glue this on there. I just loved this because it was like seriously like so simple. And I'm just going to line this up like so. And I'm just holding it with my thumb on the inside. You could definitely use seal. Just make sure and use something that will stay stuck from pulling out candy. That's why with liquid glue, I mean, I think this our seal is perfectly fine for that as well. And then I'm going to put glue on the other side of this little box. And we are going to line this up. So I'm just going to eyeball so that it's... And now these hearts are not going to be exactly perfect because of the type of heart. But as long as it's on there straight-ish, I think it's good. Okay. And then I already did this and I told you I want to look for that piece of DSP because I want you guys to see how I did that. So I'm just going to pull it out here. It's got to be in here somewhere. As you can see, I keep all my scraps right in with my... Oh, here it is. So one of the... Well, there's like 4 sheets of this. No, more than that. 1, 2, 6, I think. Okay. So the sheet looks like this. I took the die and just put it over the Your Extra Special. I just love that. And then I took another, but you can see on the back side, they're plain. And on the front, like this one says to from. And then I took another sheet and I fussy cut the cup out and put it on there. So we're just going to take this. And I think before we put it on, I'm going to take some bubble bath ribbon and we are going to string it through like a tag. Let's grab my ribbon scissors. And then I'm just going to, probably would be a little bit easier. Well, maybe I'm just going to put it through here. I'm just going to put it through. And as I said, they can be written on the back because it has that little cup and stuff on the back too. Whoops, this way. And you could put to from on there. Or just leave it plain, whichever way. And now I'm just tying a bow. I should probably stay in camera, huh? I'm going to tie a bow in the tag. And if you didn't want the tag, you could easily just cut that part off. It cuts off really easily and it's, yeah. Okay, so let's fuss with this for just a little bit because I can't handle a ribbon that's a bow that's not right. But, okay, and let's trim up those edges. And I am just going to put a couple dimensionals on the back. And like I said, obviously, if you were using it as a tag, you would just put a little bit of glue at the top so that they could, easily flip it over and look. And we're just going to put that right in the center of our box. And, yeah, the Reese's heart. Go right in there, like so. So what do you guys think? This is our first little box. That's so cute. Okay, so that was pretty fun. Is that a goose shaped? Yes, it is, Lori. I got this from the Country Hive. And I just had to have a Valentine one. And there's my glue holder. Isn't that cute? Well, thanks, guys. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is the bag. Okay. And the tag. This was so ingenious, I thought. All right, so here's our bag. Here's the parts and pieces that we're going to need. Okay, so the first thing that you do, I all of a sudden feel like claustrophobic or something, like stuff is like crowding me. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to cut off the bottom of your bag. Okay, and you're just going to, you could use your trimmers too. Maybe I'll use my trimmers. Yeah, let's use the trimmer. All right. And we are just going to cut the very bottom like off. Just going to run it through because it's a little bit thicker because of the gussets. Okay, so now our bag opens all the way through. What you want to do is you're going to put this in your trimmer, again, and we're going to score it at 1 inch. Just like so. I'm going to run it a couple times because it's kind of thick. Okay, and it kind of scored. Let's do that again. I don't know what happened. It's like, oh, I think because it's thicker. Let's try that again. Just going to go over it. Use a little bit more pressure. Okay. And what you're going to do, let's see if there's stuff in here that may have not. So you're folding that score line. But I'm going to give it a good fold. I believe I have to cut it. So here you have this, okay, and I folded it. I don't know if you can see because when you scored it, it scores all the way through, okay? So we're going to make 2 tabs on the bottom. And now this is nice because you could, I mean, it's a gusseted bag, so it does go bigger, but this does allow you to put something a little bit more bulky in it. And I know that there is a way to cut them apart and make a bigger bag as well. This is pretty similar to that. So yeah, this is just what I'm doing. I'm just cutting up. Okay. And you're just making like a box bottom, same as like what we did before. And then you're just going to glue that like so. Okay. So I'm going to take this and I am going to put some liquid glue on this flap, one of the flaps. Okay. And then I am just going to fold it down, and then I'm just going to, maybe easier this way, and I'm going to fold it up. Just like that. I'm just going to hold it for a second. Get my hand in there. Get my bone folder, maybe. Let's see if we can get this to stay. Tear and tape might have been a better idea. Let's see. Maybe if I just hold on to it and be a little bit more patient. Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie. I'm glad. It's okay. You just missed the first one. Okay. So I'm going to set it down. And I'm going to see if I can't get that to stick by folding it. So I'm just folding this down and see if I can't get that to stick. There. I'm opening it up again just to see if that worked, and it did. Okay. So there you made your bag just more like a box at the bottom. Okay. I love these because it has that little tab on there, the little twisty. That's so cute. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you then on this bag is this little heart-shaped decoration, and I made another one too. Then you put little shaker pieces in it. Okay, so what I did was I used, again, the Endless Love dies. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you guys. Sorry, squirrel moment. Okay, so this is the Endless Loves. These are the dies, and this is the die that I want to cut out this. But I wanted to show you because I was looking for different size hearts and different things to do, and I did not realize, and this is all current Stampin' Up! Stamp sets, bundles, and that have hearts and love. And so I just wanted to show you, if you don't have like what I'm using or whatever, or maybe you have something like you didn't even think to, oh yeah, I could use that. So, I mean, these are obvious because they're Valentine. So this is from the annual catalog, Be My Valentine, and that has a punch. Then there's the Sweet Jar. That also has a punch for the jar, and that has the hearts, and this is a little treat for you. That's so cute. And then obviously the Valentine kisses. And then this one is just one stamp that says Happy Valentine's Day. This is so cool. And then there is the Reason to Celebrate. I love this stamp set. Look at all of that. It has St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, Easter, graduation, New Year's, special day. This is a really good stamp set to have. And then Love Story. And then, I didn't even think of this, but if you have the Pet Love bundle, they have the cutest dies. There's a little heart tag, and I did use some of these today. So there's a heart tag, and there's two other little hearts, and then there's a stamp that says, I love you. And then there's one that will stamp the heart, and it leaves the word always. I just thought, oh, I didn't even think to use Pet Love. So I wanted to show that to you guys today. All right, back to what we were doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out two hearts for this shaker tag. And I am going, and I have two pieces of 3x3 real red cardstock. And I am going to run them together at the same time. Okay. And I'm going to grab my stylish shape dies, which I just heard that's not good. I just heard a die drop, and I don't know. Huh. That should be fun. Okay, so I'm going to take my stylish shape dies, and I'm going to take the second smallest circle, okay? And I'm going to put that in the center of my heart, okay? And we're going to see if we can do this all together at the same time. I don't know if we can. I know that we can do the hearts at the same time, but I'm pretty sure that it should cut through. And we're going to use two pieces of Post-it tape so that it, and you could do these individually. Absolutely, you could do them individually. Pull this in here, my big box, and we are going to run this through. Okay, and I am going to go through and then back again. Okay, and we'll see. Oh, and it worked. Good deal. Get this out of the way. All right, I'm going to carefully peel this Post-it tape off, because when it goes through the machine twice like that, it gets pretty sticky, stuck on. Now this way, you could have just done it, like cut the hearts and then cut the circle out separately, but I thought, let's give it a whirl. And now you have these cute circles for something else. Okay. Okay, so here we have our our tags. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take a window sheet and we are going to take that same circle die. We're going to place this on our window sheet and I am going to grab, let's see if I have a Sharpie. I don't know if I have a Sharpie, but you want to be able to see what you're, we'll see if this works. Stampin' Up! Journaling pen. Yeah, oh yeah, Stampin' Up! Journaling pen. And we are going to trace around our circle. And we're going to do 2 of these. Okay. And I guess I'm not very good at tracing. Okay. Just like this. So it doesn't move. And then pick it up and do it again. Oh, this writes really nice. Okay. Because this will be just big enough to cover our holes we made in our tags, because we're going to cut around the outside, and when you use this die cut, it cuts the inside. So it will be just a tad bigger. I am going to grab my scissors, and now this doesn't have to be perfect because you're not going to see it, but I'm just going to cut around our circles. Just like this. Okay. And then the next one. I'm going to get some of this off of here. Okay. Just easier to cut around for me. Okay. I don't know if you can see the window sheet in the camera very well, but all right. So does everybody have what they need to get ready? Oh, sorry, my phone is ringing. And I would hope that my husband would pick it up, but oh, there he did. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have our 2 circles cut out, and now we are going to take our liquid glue and we are going to put these on the inside of our hearts. We're just going to make a little bitty bead of glue right around the heart. Just like so. I'm going to place that. It's maybe yeah. See, it's just big enough. You could go a little bit bigger even if you wanted to. You wouldn't have to cut right around the black line. You could go a little bit more around that. I think I'm going to put my glue on my circle this time. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just putting it on that line that I drew. That black line. Okay. I'm going to place it right over this. And now when you do the heart, the circle, you just want, oh, look at when that got wet with the glue. um, you just want to make sure that you cut these, like if you're not going to run it through twice, that you trace the circle on the other one so that your circles line up. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So now, you guys know I've showed how to make a shaker before. So you're just going to take some foam strips and go around your window sheet. I have black all over my fingers now. And you're just going to follow that around, because you need your little shaker pieces to stay inside. I'm just going to take this and go round and round and round she goes. You could use other dimensionals if you wanted, but I just think this is a little bit easier with the foam strips. And they're, I mean, if you stayed close so the things didn't fall out. And you don't need many of the shakers pieces for this. And now those of you that are here that you've seen my other videos, you get so many of these. I mean, look at how many I still have left. And I've done a lot of stuff with these for classes and whatnot. So I want to make sure there's some of the little envelopes in there. So I'm just picking out a couple little, and everything, you know, it's so cold and it's so dry. So everything is so staticky right now. So everything's sticky, sticky, stuck. Okay, so I'm just gonna then take some of these things and just sprinkle them in. And I make sure they're flat. I'm gonna pick a couple more little hearts and lips. I just love those little lips. Don't you guys love those lips that are in here? Okay, and then we're gonna take our other tag and we are going to go right over the top. And that's that. There's your shaker. Isn't that cute? And yeah, you could use any shape. You could do this any way. I kind of wish that I would have like found a different heart to do, but I ran out of time. But I don't think there's a big enough one, and the other ones like are too big. But I thought the little circle was cute. What do you guys think? Okay, so you just want to make sure that your hole did cut through because you're going to run some ribbon through that. And I just want to, very cute. Thanks, Lori. And we are going to take this little doodad out. Okay, then I cut out the big heart from the Endless Love dies. And I used that Mix and Match DSP, and we are just going to put that right over the top, and we are going to use, I'm not going to use the bubble bath with this. I'm going to use the red and white baker's twine. Oh, thanks, Debbie. And we are going to cut off enough to tie it for 2 bows. Okay. And we are just going to line these up, make sure we have it even Steven. And now this, I am going to, oh, I wonder if I can only do one at a time. I'm going to go through that's the hole that's in the center. Even the pattern on the back of this is cute, isn't it? That blue and white gingham. Okay. Well, let's see here. I can get that through there. No. Yep. So I'm just going to use one, I think, to run through. And then I'm going to run it through these other holes from my shaker tag. Okay. We're just going to get them even. And I've got stuff stuck to me. Okay, and we're going to tie this on here. So this is just such a cute way to add some, you know, it's like a gift within a gift. Tie a bow. Now if you wanted, because I did cut 2 pieces of ribbon, I could, or twine, I could cut or tie another one and glue it on, but I think I'm just going to leave it like this. I'll just put that back on the spool. I'm going to trim up my edges here. And then we are going to, so this is it closed. So you want to make sure that you have your bag going the right way. So this is how that, you know, that you want the twisty on the back, I think. Yeah. Okay. So here's our bag. No, we want the, you want to put, okay, sorry. Okay, so we are going to glue this on this flap here. And I use dimensionals. So I'm going to flip my bag over. Okay. And I'm going to take my tag and it's going to go right like that. Okay. I'm going to put some dimensionals on there. Somewhere I have dimensionals. And we're just going to put one there and one there because we don't want to, I don't want it glued down to the whole bag. I just want it at the top. It's like the top flap decoration. Okay. I'm just going to line it up like this. And then there's a fold line there. I'm just making, there's fold lines in the bag here, and I just want to fold it so that I know where the fold lines are. Okay, so here we have our bag, and we're going to fold these back like that, and then your bag is closed, and here's your tag on the front. Isn't that cute? And then you could, and this other one I did decorate the bottom. Let's put this back. I put a heart that I die cut with the Endless Love dies, and the XOs, I die cut those out of foam sheets. And I did white and I did red so that I could have the red heart from the middle. And then this way you get it super popped up. I like those foam sheets. And then I cut a real red arrow. So that is your decoration for your bag. Isn't that cute? I mean, you could easily use, well, thanks, Anne. You could easily use these circles, I would think, for a decoration too. Or, I don't know if you're like me, I have all kinds of cutout hearts and stuff from other things. Thanks, Kim. So there's our cute little bag. And then, for time's sake, let's go to this box. Because if we run out of time, because I don't know if a lot of you, if you signed up for the Stampin' Up! Card Retreat starts at 3 o'clock Central Time. So you never used the foam sheets yet? Oh my gosh, Anne. You've got to try the foam sheets. I absolutely love them. Love, love, love them. Okay, I'm just going to clean up a space here. And I'm going to grab my doodads for my box. So here's my triangles. And then the things to decorate the box. And I know, I know. I get so excited about stuff. Thanks, Debbie. Okay. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Are you guys coffee drinkers? I'm sure I've asked you this before. I don't know if I've ever asked Anne before. I'm a coffee drinker. I love my coffee. Okay. So, first things first, I got to look at my cheater notes here. Because there's no way I could remember all of this. Oh, brain fog lately has been very bad. Okay, so you will need 2 strips of, oh, see, look at, I got dove hearts in there. Okay, so you're going to need 2 strips of cardstock. I chose Real Red. And the smaller one, let's see, it's just Did I cut those the same size? Huh. Okay, so it is 8 3/4 by 1 1/4. You're going to score it on the short side right here. So this is the short end. And you're going to score this way at 1/4 inch. And haven't grown up yet. I just drink ice water all day, occasionally a little Diet Pepsi. Oh, you're a good girl. I wish I would just drink water all day. I think you're the one that's grown up. I'll have my Diet Coke in the afternoon. I'm a Diet Coke girl. Okay, and then, so you score here at 1/4. Okay, then you're going to turn your paper and you are going to score at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4 on the long side. Now, if you belong or you receive my email newsletter, I will have all these instructions will go out in a newsletter. The other strip is the top of your box, and that is 9 1/8 by 1 3/8. And you're going to do the same thing. On the short side, you're going to score at 1/4 inch, and then you're going to turn it, and on the long side, you're going to go 2 7/8, 5 3/4, and 5 1/8. Okay, so you have your top, and you have your bottom, and you have your top. Then what you're going to do is at the score lines. I don't know. I'm sure they're. Are they hard to see? Okay, right here. We are going to make little notches in these all the way. So what I like to do is you could just cut up and then notch, but I found it easier if you go to an angle and you snip and you snip and you just take your little notch out. And you're going to do the same thing on all of the triangles or the strips of paper to make your triangle. Like that. And then you're going to do the same thing here. And you don't have to go very deep. This just makes it easier when you're forming your triangle. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. And you're just going to go at that 1/4. This is that 1/4 inch. And we're just going to cut and cut. Make our little notches. And I like to cut these before I fold and burnish my score lines. Okay, just like so. All right. Okay, so now we have those done. Now we're going to take our bone folder and we are going to fold and burnish at the score lines. It's already trying to make a triangle. It knows its job. Okay. And it's easier to do this long 1/4 inch once they're cut instead of folding the whole thing over before you have these little tabs in here. It folds a lot easier. Okay, got that one. We're going to do this one. Okay. And then we'll do our little tabbies. This. Whenever I make 3D projects like this, I always, when I see them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make that, but oh, I bet you it's so hard. Once you do it or you see it, well, for me, once I see it, I'm like, oh, that shouldn't seem so bad. And then once I see it again and do it at the same time, then I'm, oh my gosh, you guys, why didn't you tell me I had tape up on my shirt? Okay, so what you're going to do is you are making a triangle. So that is what we're doing here. Okay, so we are folding this on itself like this. Okay, so what you're going to do is we are going to put glue here, here, and here. Okay, it's going to go like this, this, that. Okay, and then we are going to put this together like this. Oh, you know what? I put the glue on the wrong place. What was I thinking? Oh, I tell you. All right, let's put the glue right here. I was supposed to put this first and then, but now I have the glue on here. Okay, so first do this flap first to put your triangle together. And then put the glue here, here, and here. And then we're going to put a heart on there. And I cut 4 hearts. I cut 2 out of cardstock and 2 out of DSP. And the reason why I did that was because it's sturdier. And I'm stubborn that way. I wanted a DSP lid. So if you didn't need to have a DSP lid, you could just cut 2 hearts and just cut them out of cardstock. Okay, so there we have that one. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of glue where it didn't glue together, and I'm just going to put a little right there and go like that. It's just, for me, it was easier this way to do it like this. And I'm just going to hold it. And while you're sitting there, you can push down the inside. So there we have one. Now we're going to do our other one. And let's maybe do this one the right way, Alicia. Okay. So it's a good thing we have 2 times, right? Oh boy. You guys are probably thinking, oh, how does she get through the day? All right. So we're going to put glue just right here. And we're going to, it's like we're closing it up. And we are just going to go like that and hold it together. Okay. And now these are our tabs that we glue the other heart on. And we're going to do all of the sides this time. Okay. We're going to take our other heart. And now you want the top or your peak of your triangle. You want that to be at the peak of your heart. I'm just going to go like that. I'm just going to put a little pressure on there before I flip it over. And then I'm going to take here and I'm going to put the little bit of glue like I did on that last one. And I just take my glue and I'm just go towards right here, if you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right in here. And then I'm going to hold it together. Just like that. And then while I'm holding this together, I'm just going to go on the inside. Like that. And did I make 2 of the same? I was afraid, no, I was afraid of that because it seemed like my pieces were, no, I did it right. Did I? Did I? Oh boy. I think I cut the same size triangle. No, make it work. Okay, so there's your box. Then you have your 2 hearts I chose this from that Mix and Match, the heart pattern, and has that pretty purple polka dotty on the back. And I'm just going to run some glue like that, and we are just going to put that right over the top. Make sure that's straight. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to flip this over. And go like that. We're just going to move that around. That's the nice thing about liquid glues, because you have time to move that around. And there we have our box. And now, for time's sake, I'm just going to show. So I cut out a real red heart from that tag. I cut out some little white hearts, and now these white hearts are from that Pet Love. And I just wanted some white hearts on there. So that, like that. You could easily put it up here like that, but I just kind of wanted them, by each other. You could even snip that little tag piece out. If you wanted to, you could just use the two little hearts and then like an arrow. But I think you should have all of them. So there's hearts and hearts. Cupid's arrow. And then you could add another heart on here. Like that. And you have your box. Oh, and then I cut this little tag out with the hearts to add on there. And there's the box. Similar to this one I stamped hearts directly on the basic white. I did again where I cut out, because I have the pieces from the other, because I cut it out in red and white, and then I saved the white heart and put it on there for that one. I really want to show you guys that other one, so I'm not decorating this. I apologize, but I really want, and I know I only have 4 minutes, but we're going to go over just a hair. I understand if you have to leave if you're doing the retreat, the Stampin' Up! Card retreat. Okay, so let me find my things for this. Okay. So when you do this one, you want the largest doily. Oh, thanks, Kim. You want the largest doily from the pack of your paper doilies. And I'm going to grab some out so you can see. I'm not quite sure why I have 2 arrows, but I do. Let's see. Let me grab some doilies. So it comes, it says Lovely Doilies, Bubble Bath, and Real Red, and you get 24 of them. So you get the larger ones, and then you get the smaller ones. And we've used the smaller ones in class before. Thanks, Debbie. And so for this, you need the big one. Okay, so I'm going to grab my other cheat sheet over here for my instructions. Okay. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to take your doily and you want to fold it in half gently. You're not going to fold the crease perfectly, but you're just going to take and you're going to put right at the center circle here. You're just going to pinch it. Okay? So that way you're going to know where your center is. Okay? Ever so slightly. Just when I'm holding it here for a second. Okay? This is going to help when you fold the sides in. Okay? So now you can see you have this little bit, and because you pinched it in the center, you know where you need to, so you're going to fold over this side. Okay, and now you can use a bone folder, but you could rip the paper. So I just take my finger and I just push it down. And then I just go run across it like this. And then you're going to flip, not flip, you're going to take the other side and you're going to meet in the middle. Okay. And like I said, if you prefer to use your bone folder, you can. Just be very careful. Okay. So that is what you have so far. Okay. Now, a second, sorry. I want to make sure I get this right. All right. Okay, so now you want to bring the bottom up. Okay. And now you don't need to go in half or whatever. I just lifted it because you don't have a score line. I just hold my finger and I'm just going to bring it up ever so gently. And then I'm just going to lay it. And it's not going over his, it's just coming right below where these two meet. And I am just folding that. Okay. So now you have your envelope. Okay. Now you want to glue this down. You can use liquid glue or you can use glue dots, but you want to be aware that, there's holes in this because it's a doily. So and you don't want to glue these flaps shut either. So what I did was I went on the sides right here and I just put a little glue like so. And then once you have this set down, if you want to put in some glue dots later, you can. And then I'm just going to hold this down like this. Okay. So there you have your little pocket, your little envelope. And they didn't wait long enough. Then I think I'm going to take these right up here. And I'm just going to put a little dot of glue here. And then one right here. Just where you know that the paper is going to go hit paper and paper. And it's, you can take it and hold it like this with your fingers in there so it doesn't stick to the back. And then you're going to do the same thing here. I don't think I put enough glue on this side. I'm going to go like this. I think my glue's running out. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put my finger under here so that I'd rather have it stick to my finger than the back so you can get your slide in. This we're going to make next, this piece. Just like that. For some reason, this did not want to stay shut for me. I think I was being impatient. Okay. So now you need a piece of cardstock. This is 2¼ by 3. And then you want to take, if you have whatever corner rounder you have, you want to round the edges at just the bottom so that that slides in easier. Now, I know there's a retired Stampin' Up! One. This is the one that I use. It's a crocodile corner chomper. I've had this for a gazillion years. And so I just put it in and then I, chomped it and chomped it. So that's my corner rounder. Okay, so basically what you want is you want to be able to slide this in and there's no short, sharp corners. Okay, and I'm going to put my fingers in here and kind of go like this to make my pocket open just a little bit more. Now that I my stuff glued down, I can kind of, you know, take it and go like this and make it a little bit extra. Okay, and then this will slide in there like so. Okay, now you need a strip of DSP, and this is cut at 2 by 4.5 inches, and this is to wrap around your Ghirardelli square. And so you're just going to take this. What did I do? And then you're going to, I think what I'm going to do, did I do it this way? I think so. Yeah. Okay. I fold the flaps of the Ghirardelli inside. I don't know if you could see that. And so I'm just centering this, and then I'm bringing up the bottom. I'm going to you only want to put glue on the DSP so that the recipient can get the candy out. Okay, and I'm put a little bead of liquid glue there, and then I'm folding this over and just gluing this down to this side. Okay, so now you have your wrapped candy, and this goes on here. Okay, for the tag, I cut out a bubble bath to match my bubble bath doily. I cut out the tag heart, and what I'm going to do is I am going to glue this. I'm just going to put glue at the bottom, like so, and I am going to put this on my tag. So you can see here, and then part of that candy goes over the heart. So I'm just putting this at the bottom, and then I'm going to take some seal, and I'm going to run a piece of seal across the DSP. You could run it on here too. And I am going to, so it sticks down, but it's not like the person isn't going to be able to get it off. And I'm just going to put pressure so I don't break my chocolate. Okay. And then I did cut out an X and an O out of real red from the same die set. And we are just going to put some liquid, oh, my fingers are sticky. And we are going to put some glue on the O. And I'm just using the opposite, color as the heart, but that is the same color as your backing, your slider, so to speak. Okay. And flip my X over. And we're going to go like this. Okay. We're going to take this and we're going to put this on the inside. Like I said, now that it's glued, you can take your pocket and kind of, squeeze it so you can get everything in there. And they do fit. Just takes a little bit to get it in that first time. Once you get it in there the first time, then the rest is pretty easy. Okay, so there's that. And then I cut a heart to put on the front to kind of cover up that little seam. And then I cut a tag, and you could do just like I did this one. Okay, so I have the heart. So I did a real red heart here. Then I took a bubble bath arrow, and I'm going to take some mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put on the arrow and then on the feather part. And I'm going to peel these off. And we're going to put a right here like this. And then I have some little red hearts that I had left over from one of the other projects I was doing. And you could put some little, like here I would, oh, let's use these little shaker guys. So we're going to put 3 little hearts on here. Well, let's glue this down first. I'm going to use dimensionals though. But you want to, did I use, no, I think I glued it right on here. Yeah, we're just going to glue it right on. I'm going to put a little glue just at the bottom of my heart. Okay, and I'm going to put that right like that onto the doily because you don't want it to glue to that. Okay, and then I'm going to take and put my little shaker white hearts on here. I'll put a dot here, and a dot here. And then with my tweezers, I'm going to pick up, well, maybe I should use my pick tool. Okay, I'll take my pick tool and I'm going to pick up some hearts. I'm going to set one here, it's like so. So what do you guys think of these treat holders? I like them. I thought they were fun, easy enough to do. You could, and I said easy enough you could do them even with the kids if they needed to make something for their class. They could easily do some of these with just a little bit of guidance. And then we're going to put one heart right here. And then now I didn't stamp on this tag because I thought, you know, if you wanted to, you could easily, you know, because we're going to put this, well, maybe those hearts weren't the best idea, but you could easily do a to from. You could do it like this. And then they could put the names. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Lori. And then you could tie it on here like so. And they could do like a to Susie from Johnny. And then have the little tag like that. This one I did do a hugs and kisses on there. So let's slide this in here. And then, of course, because it's a tag, you put a little bow. I did bubble bath ribbon, and then I tied the real red around it. So those are our Valentine treats. So we have the box, we have the doilies. There's that one, and we have our tag. And we have this cute little box with the little Reese's in it. And we have our bag. Thanks, Kim. So here's all our sweet little Valentines. Yeah, I'm just going to flip over my camera here. Maybe. I don't have my mouse pad over here. Let's see if I can touch my screen and do it. Yeah, there. All right. So these were our Valentine treat holders. You guys enjoyed this. Sorry, I had a couple things that didn't go exactly right, but I don't know. I've had brain fog lately. I don't know. So, yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 different things. Yeah. So if you guys make these, I would love to see them. You can share them on my Expressions by Lish Stamping Circle page. I would love to see them if you made them, or if you make another kind of treat holder that wasn't what we made today. I would love, love, love to see it. Well, thanks for joining me. Next week, we will, same place, same time, except for next week, we are doing the Woolly Friends. So, should be fun, and that will be a class to go. So, Lori, winter blues. You know, my mom said the same thing to me when I said, well, maybe it's menopause brain fog, But mom's like, I think it's winter. So, yeah. Thanks, Kim. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to sign off. I could stay on here all day and talk crafting with you guys, but it's time to go. So, thanks for joining. We'll see you guys another time. Bye.